I've been very fortunate to have the opportunity to wear numerous hats throughout the many years of being here in Cape Girardeau. 42 years as a registered nurse, experience as a member of nursing faculty, a small business owner, married 41 years to my business partner, Rich, sitting over here in the corner, who'd like to remain anonymous and unnamed, mother to 2 adult children, grandmother to my our 4-year-old granddaughter, Sunny Catherine, church organist, pianist, and flautist for 44 years here in Cape Girardeau, school board member, city council member, and a member of various boards having to do with higher education, business, charitable organizations, foundations, and other groups. I've had another great opportunity. I have no opponent in this race. So that has given me the opportunity to spend time with you, time listening to you, being a good student, doing my homework, and learning what's important to you and what's right for you to be done in Jefferson City. We had our first town hall meeting this week, had a small collection of business leaders and discussed several business issues: transportation, telecommunications regulation, education, tax credits, and we will have many more. Also, I welcome the opportunity to meet with you one-on-one to discuss what is the right thing to do in Jefferson City for you if you are not a member of one of these town hall meetings. We do need the right solutions in Jefferson City. We do need them for health care, for jobs and the economy, for taxpayers, for education, and for our values. And for taxpayers, we have the right to have a fiscally responsible government, and one that sees its fiscal role as an investment for the public good for now and in the future, not as an administrative arm for entitlement programs. For our economy, we have the right to a state government that promotes investment, business, and jobs now and for the future. The high health care costs and the unjust unemployment claims have stifled business in our state, and we need a state that sees business as a partner for the future, not as simply a revenue generator. And for health care, businesses, employees, and families have a right to affordable, good health care. We need association health plans to ease the financial burden on employees, employers, and their families. We also need preventive care to be included with health plans, and we also need to let physicians practice medicine, not insurance companies. The right thing for education: we all have a right to an education for our life and for our work. This means accountable education in K-12 and choice. It also means affordable higher education, accessible higher education, and accountable higher education. And finally, for our values, we have the right, not only the right, but the responsibility to protect life and to protect our liberty. I do believe I'm the right person with the right experience, with the right job, to do the right things in Jefferson City for you the right way. And you are the reason, you, the people of this District 147. I appreciate your vote and your support on August 6th and November 7th. Actually, it's August 7th and November 6th. Thank you very much.
We'll start with our first speaker, Van. You're up. You get 2 minutes.
Thank you. To kind of introduce myself, some of you I know and some of you I know very well. I am a lifelong resident of Cape Girardeau County. I have been in education for 42 years as a teacher, as a coach, as an administrator. I have also, my wife and I had a small business in Jackson for a period of 8 years. I also farm. I raise cattle, beef cattle, small grain. My education, of course, with Jackson High School. I went to Southeast Missouri State University, graduating there with the BS in education. I went to Truman State University, graduated with a master's in administration. Again, I've been in teaching all of my adult life, except for 2 years. I took off 2 years. I worked for the Disability Determinations Unit. We were, at that time, employed by the State Department of Education, but we were disability counselors, and what we did, we adjudicated claims on people who claimed disability due to Social Security. And that was kind of a different type of scenario for me. I did that for a couple years, missed teaching and coaching too much, so I got back into the education field. And basically that's what I wanted to do with my opening statement, was kind of introduce you to me, what my background is. Basically, it's education, Working with young people has been my passion, and some of those young people are in this room right now, but they're not as young as they were when they were sitting in class. I don't know what happened on that. But thank you very much.
All right, Gerald, you're up.
Good evening, I'm Gerald Adams, and I've been a printer at Nordina USA for the past 15 years. Prior to that, I owned and operated our family farm, which is G&A Dairy. My wife Nancy and I have been married for 37 years. We have 3 sons, 1 daughter-in-law, and 2 granddaughters. With their future in mind, I feel that there are 4 things our state legislature needs to do to ensure that future. Add good-paying jobs, increase general revenue funds, provide a highly trained and well-educated workforce, and last but not least, provide strong leadership and character and high morals. We should set an example for our youth. And I would like to believe the motto on our state flag still holds true today. The welfare of the people shall be the supreme law. I think there are groups that will attack in court the Missouri Marriage Amendment, which simply states that it's between a man and a woman. If I'm sworn in as your representative in January, I will honor this amendment because I believe in it. And I've always been a strong pro-life advocate. I would like to announce an endorsement I received this week. It's from the Missouri State Teachers Association. This is especially gratifying since it comes from a group of over 44,000 men and women who teach, educate, and care for our children and grandchildren. I'm honored to receive this endorsement based on my knowledge of the critical issues facing our state. This selection was done by teachers, and since I'm not one, this is truly a gratifying experience that they would put their trust and faith in me. Thank you.
Donna's next.
I'm Donna Lichtenegger, and I would like to be re-elected as your state representative. I am a proven conservative that you can count on and trust. My Republican credentials run deep. As a result of my Republican involvement, I hit the ground running when elected in 2010. I knew most of my fellow elected representatives because I had already worked with them on many issues. They knew me and they trusted me. I was appointed Vice Chairman of Appropriations for Health and Senior Services, Social Services, and Mental Health. This appropriation committee handles over 1/3 of the state budget. I was honored when Speaker of the House, Dr. Stephen Tilley, named me Freshman of the Year for health care issues. Helping people is my passion. I work to save Meals on Wheels for seniors, which provide not only a daily meal, but a daily visitation to our elderly. Just a few days ago, I received from the Americans for Prosperity. They honored myself and 3 other state representatives in our state legislature for our work on the health care exchanges. We have got to solve the health care problems in our state and in our nation. Stephen Tilley also appointed me to the special committee for the special House Joint Committee on School Accreditation. We must ensure that all of the children of our state get a great education. I've enjoyed working with teachers and administrators across the state to work on these issues. I am sponsoring a bill to eliminate pensions for elective officers, and this is a job of public trust. Appreciate your vote to send me back to Jefferson City. Thank you.
All right, we'll get started with our first question. The first question, we're going to start with Gerald. Gerald, you will have 90 seconds to answer this question. For those of you who come after Gerald, I'll be happy to reread the question if you would like me to. The first question we have this evening, right to work has been an issue in the last legislative session. Please explain how you will represent your constituents in Jefferson City on the issue of Missouri becoming a right-to-work state. 90 seconds.
I think I already had the right to work. I think I'm probably one of the very few here that's had union vote in their workplace twice. We voted against it twice, and I voted against it. Oh, thank you. Okay. I would say that I already have a right to work, and I think that I'm probably one of the very few here that's been involved in a union vote. We voted the union down twice in the place of employment where I'm at. I don't believe in taking rights away from workers, and I think the federal government has taken more than their share away already. I believe that we need to spend in our resources, our time, and our energy on trying to find good paying jobs that provide benefits, and I think the semantics of the right to work have been way over exaggerated.
Donna?
I have been fighting for the cause of right to work since 1978. I was involved in the first petition drive that we had in this state. The unions have done some harm to many of the fields in our state. We no longer have hat factories or shoe factories because all of those jobs have been driven out of the country. It won't make a difference. I am a proud right-to-work person. The unions have come and spoken to me, and I tell them what I tell everyone. I am not against unions. I am for workers. And that's what right to work is about. I work with many of my fellow legislators in the House. We were ready for bills, but we knew they weren't going to go anywhere this year. We will bring them up again, and I am a proud proponent for right to work.
Van?
The right to work issue is of major importance to all of us in the workforce, of course. The right to work, I am for it, but I'm also not against the unions. I think people who have the right to choose what they want is what we want for them. They have the right to vote, yes or no, on a union. There are certain aspects of a union that are very good, you know, as far as job security. You know, what a lot of companies like to do, they like to, if you get, as you grow and mature with the country, salary increases, they like to get rid of you and hire other people less. And I've had people tell me about that. They had to go union to protect their job because they've been there for 15 or 20 years and the company wants to get rid of them to hire some younger people right out of school, whatever, and they can do that a lot, of course, to save a lot of money. I am not for any type of union in any public employee, for teachers, for anybody that, so to speak, eats at the public food trough. They should not have a union.
All right, our next question, and we will start with Donna on this question. You get 90 seconds. Given the current popularity of school vouchers in charter schools, describe the impact on a rural school district as compared to an urban school district.
Well, as I said a while ago, I was appointed to the Joint Committee for School Accreditations. I don't know how many of you know this, but St. Louis City and Kansas City school districts are unaccredited. That is just unacceptable. What this committee did was go across the state and listen to teachers and administrators and find out how they felt on different issues. The bills that we worked on this year had some things to do with that. At one point, I was against tenure. In the rural school districts, especially in the very rural school districts, I do believe that tenure is needed because it's just needed. It's too long to go into for 90 seconds. I believe, though, the city of St. Louis actually asked us to pass that there. The bill for vouchers in the cities, that was asked because we need to let people go to schools where they can actually get an education. The police forces and the firemen have to send their kids to those schools. So I voted for school choice in those areas. I do not think it's needed here. I think it can break a good school district. So I would not vote for it in the rural area. That's how I feel on that.
Gerald, or I'm sorry, Van, 60 seconds. You need me to repeat the question. Given the popularity of school vouchers in charter schools, describe the impact on a rural school district as compared to an urban school district. 60 seconds.
I don't know about the different impacts it would have on rural versus them. I'm against school vouchers. If you live in a district, that's the school system you should go to. You should support that school system. If you put a voucher system out for any segment, like say Kansas City or St. Louis, then you should do it statewide. You can't pick and choose areas to have school vouchers in. Theoretically, it sounds good, but it will not work because you get in competition. You know, they want to go to this school because of maybe academics, or they want to go to this school because of music or for athletics. School vouchers will not work. You have to attend the school in the particular district that you live in.
Gerald, do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I'm good. As far as the vouchers, they're called tax credits this time. They've been tried for years. Tax credits are already draining our general revenue fund, and we have too many. There was a proposal to have one this year for special education they tried. There was no limit on it. No limit on the amount of tax credit, except for the individual could do $800,000 worth of tax credit on it. Now, is that helping kids? No. In charter schools, they've closed more charter schools in St. Louis now. Their scores are lower than the public schools these kids came from. They have proved to be a total failure in St. Louis. And why would we want to expend something that's failed to where we've got great public schools in this area, and now that the public schools in St. Louis have actually got scores better than the charter schools?
This question we will start with Van. You will get 90 seconds. Educational funding is mandated by the Missouri Constitution. Other than that issue, what is the biggest issue you see facing the residents of the 146th district?
You know, I've been in education for many years. The biggest issue in education right now for our area is the home that these children live in. It's unbelievable what some of them, I could tell you things that you wouldn't believe. They don't even live at home. They get together, they rent an apartment. I don't know exactly how to fix this, but we have to get back to those values that are taught at home. What they want teachers to do now, they want them to help raise their children. They want teachers to teach them right and wrong, teach them what they should do and should not do, how to, you know, they don't know how to act in public. It's unbelievable. And I say they, it's not all students, no. But those are the ones that we hear and we have to deal with more than the home life, the people who have a very solid home life that they come from, okay? The other issue is the drug and the alcohol issues. I don't know how much you are aware of it. It's a tremendous problem. It really is. You may say, well, it's not my son, it's not my daughter, and hopefully it's not. But there is a tremendous problem with drugs in our schools and alcohol abuse in our schools. Those things will bring a student. I've seen students who make excellent grades, do well. They start experimenting in these areas, everything goes down. Everything goes down. And again, a lot of that comes from the home life that they're brought in, but not always the case. That's not always the rule. It's not up to the parents. You know, if the parents had their say, they would do this or that. But there's a lot of things we have to address. Thank you.
Gerald, do you mean to repeat the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Educational funding is mandated by the Missouri Constitution. Other than that issue, what is the biggest issue you see facing the residents of the 146th district?
I think the 146th, it would be a lot of the things that Van had talked about. A lot of our social problems, which is caused by, you know, either drugs or alcohol. I know we started hiring social workers in our school district, and we were one of the first ones in the area, and now we have 5. It's been a tremendous improvement for our children in that district, where counselors couldn't go into the home. Social workers can. They can go right to the root of the problem and work, and it has helped so many of our kids that have had problems at home, whether they've had a parent on drugs, a parent in prison. It's helped them immensely. It's been a tremendous program for us.
Donna, do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. They're right. The biggest problem is social. It's about the way that our kids are being brought up. The teachers and the administration are not there to babysit our kids. They're there to teach our kids. That's why St. Louis and Kansas City school districts are also unaccredited, because of the character. It's not about money. It's not about anything. It's about the things that they are being taught, or in this case, in many cases, they are not taught. I have worked in Medicaid in the health field for years, and they're right. The whole problem with drugs and alcohol is ridiculous. And these kids are living and growing up in that, and it's a shame. And until we get that in hand, we're going to have problems, and it's something we got to live with.
All right, this will be our final question. You are Gerald. Gerald, you're first. Sorry, I've lost track here. What is your greatest weakness, and what are your opponent's greatest strengths? You have 90 seconds.
That I don't talk loud enough. As far as that, I would have to say that Donna's a very good campaigner. Van Hitt's experience in education as far as children is concerned.
Okay. All right. Donna, you're up.
I think my experience, not only in politics, but as an office holder, has helped me greatly. I think that Van being on the school board and Gerald being on the school board and Van being a teacher is their strong points.
Van, do you need me to repeat the question?
Was it my weaknesses, their strengths?
What is your greatest weakness, and what are your opponent's greatest strengths?
Oh, did it backwards, sorry.
My greatest weakness is my good looks.
I got it right.
Their strengths, Donna has been involved in politics for many years, and I'm aware of that. She knows politics. She knows how to talk to people in those frames, how to deal with people in the political way. Gerald's strength, I've known Gerald for a long time. He's a very good man. He has a great family. I've coached his young men in football, and there's not better young men I had on the football field to work with than his, and there's no greater compliment as a parent than somebody say, you have tremendous young men as your children. And there are many other things to Gerald, but my time's up.
See, I just can't bring myself to say negative, sorry.
All right, our closing statements, you will get 1 minute, and we will start with Donna.
2 years ago, I promised to be a full-time state representative, and I have kept that promise. Everybody has my cell phone number, 979-1084, and you can call it at any time if you need help. After August 7th election, I will start being a state representative again, holding meetings with parents and teachers to get their ideas on educational problems in our state and how to solve them. I also will be preparing bills for pre-filing on December 1st. I have served on many committees this session: health insurance, registration and licensing, higher education, along with my appropriations. I have the full support of the Speaker and all of my committee chairs as they have endorsed me, and I am slated to move up in leadership in all of my committees next session. I pledge to you I will remain being your full-time state representative if you vote for me on August 7th.
Van, your 1 minute closing statement.
As Gerald alluded to earlier, on our state seal for the state of Missouri, the ribbon in Latin, it's written in Latin, but it says, "Let the welfare of the people be the supreme law." And that's my goal. if, excuse me, as a member of the state legislature, I would be your voice in Jefferson City. I would meet with you. Any concern that you have, I will address it. As you have a concern and you express that to me, I will get an answer for you. I will get that back to you. If you want to know, if you have a problem, a concern, or you just want to know what's going on, I will get back to you. I've been a public servant all my life. You know, I've been in education. I've worked with young people, and I stand on my record as being committed, my leadership, the things that I've done throughout my entire career. And some of the, as I stated, some of the people in this room I've had in the class. I have some fellow teachers here. You can ask any of them. I am always very open, very honest, and very straightforward with all of my responses to you.
Gerald, your 1 minute closing.
Okay. I want to thank the Pachyderm Club for allowing us to express our opinions and stands on these important issues facing our state. We have a representative form of government, and that's why these forums are important, so you can be an educated voter when you mark your ballot. In District 146, we basically have 5 local entities that have to work together. City of Jackson, Jackson Chamber of Commerce, Area Magnet, County Commission, and the SEMO Regional and Planning Committee. Because if they aren't working together, our region will suffer in bringing in new business. There have been issues in the past year that have caused division between some of these entities, and I have the experience of being a unifier, bringing different groups together with my work on local, regional, state boards and organizations. And because of my knowledge of the important issues facing our state, I feel that I'm the candidate that can work to accomplish and complete these goals and make Missouri and our district a better place to work and live. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our portion of the 146. Let's give them all a round of applause.